Good morning, 10th grade. How you all doing this morning? Seems like I'm always about a half hour behind on this video, or maybe 3 hours behind like the other morning when it didn't load. So yeah, I, let me think how to say this. This is a subject that I procrastinate the most. So I don't get it on as early as I should. Now, I'm going to try to do better. Okay, this morning I was sure I was going to have it on by 8 o'clock, and here it's 8:20, and I'm just starting the video. And I got an excuse, and I'll tell you what the excuse is here in a moment. But today we're going to do 46 to 51. I told you yesterday to give a shot at page 40, 46 there, 47. That was pretty easy, but I didn't know if you could do that or not. So this morning you can start on that. If you did, then we'll check some of your problems. So I think the first one I'm going to do is 2.21, the very first one. And if you read the instructions, this talks about how that it's doing the same thing as what you did yesterday. If you had two addition problems, you subtracted them, and if you had an addition and a multiplication, you could eliminate one of them by adding them. So this is working with the same thing, except they're not. Yesterday all your problems were even, or they were exactly the same exponent. Well, this time you can multiply. And so if you look at the first one, I put it in purple. 2x plus y equals 3, and x negative 2y equals 1. You see, the y's, you can't eliminate them because the one is 2y and the other is just plain y. So it's telling you that it doesn't matter. You can multiply both of them or one of them by any number you want to get either the x the same or the y the same. And I could have multiplied this bottom one by 2x if I'd have wanted to, and that would have made it the same as here. Instead, I chose to do the top one by 2, and you can multiply both of them. If it makes it easier to come out, multiply both of them by a certain number, any number you choose. It tells you that there in the instructions. So I chose to do the top one. 2 times 2 makes me 4x, 2 times y makes me 2y, and 2 times 3 makes me 6. Now be sure when you multiply that to do it by every term. Okay? You skip a term, you skip the 3 back here, and you won't come out with the correct answer. Now because I have 2y positive and 2y negative, I can eliminate that one and solve for x. Or I can do the subtraction, if I would say it. No, addition, sorry. If you add negative 2 and positive 2, you have 0. So that's what I did here now. I had the 4x, and the x makes me 5x, and then I had the 6 and the 1. And if you write your problems like I did here on the board, be very careful. If you don't rewrite them, don't go adding negative 1 and 3. Be sure to add. You should cross these out. If you're going to write on top of them like that, probably a good rule of thumb would be to cross out the y, cross out the 2x, cross out the 3 as you write the others above there. That way you can keep it straight. Because I made a couple mistakes like that. So here we go. 5x, isolate the x. 5 into 5 makes me 1. So now I substituted 1 back in the original equation, and I could have put it here as well. I put it up here on top. X, or 2 times 1 is 2 equals 3. So I say, what's that? Well, it's pretty simple. You know that you can eliminate the 2 by subtracting it from the 3. It brings you down to the y. Y equals 1. So your solution where, if you would have been doing like the other day, your solution where these two equations cross, that's at the point is 1 and 1. x1, y1. Okay, let's do this one. Well, we're not drafting these, okay, don't get the idea. I'm just trying to connect the other lessons with where we're at today. Here I did the same thing again. I went 2, because I had 2a plus b. This is 2.25. I went 2a plus 2a. 2 times 5 is 10. And 2 times 2 is 4. Opposite signs leaves me with a negative. And so then I come down here, and because this is both addition, I have to subtract. So yeah, take note of that. You see, these were a subtraction and addition. I added. So watch that. When you go along through there, watch that sign right here. So these are both same. I subtract them, and I have these two front AA. So that means this is I made a negative A, or however you want to say that, in a positive. So I eliminate that. I come over here. I'm subtracting B from 10. Actually, is what I have here is 10. 1 from 10 makes me 9B. And here I am subtracting negative 5 from, see, I had to make this sign here a negative 4. I changed it. So the addition rules is like signs add. So that comes up with a negative 9. Now, I guess I should have probably done that here too. I should have put the negative right there, a negative B, because I got the negative 2. So I should have had a negative B from 10 would make me 9, or subtract B from 10. And so here again, I come up with negative 9. 9 into 9, 9 into 9 makes me B equals negative 1. Okay, now I put negative 1 in B spot, and you can choose whichever one you wanted. You could have put it here, but I chose to put it there. So I got 2A plus negative 1 equals 5. So I just immediately brought the negative 1 over here to the side here. It makes him a positive 1. Bring him across, so that makes me 6. And then I've got the 2A. Isolate the A, divide the 2 into the 2, divide the 2 into 6, A equals 3. So my answer is B equals negative 1, A equals 3. And you can check them. You can take them back up and put them into place in either equation to check them. Yeah, that's not too difficult, I don't think. Let's go to 235. And now we're going to solve by substitution. Okay? And I'm not going to, I want you to read page 48 and 49, basically. You look at those. I mean, don't just read it, understand it, okay? Study it, figure out how they substituted the numbers in. But I won't do that. I won't take the time to do that, but I will explain to you. Let me turn this here. I will explain to you how they substituted it. This here, in some ways, this here is almost easier than that over there, because what you have 2x plus y equals 7, and then they say y equals x plus 1. Okay, so substitution means you're going to substitute x plus 1 into y's spot. You get that? See, y equals x plus 1, so you're going to put that in there. And so that actually makes it a little bit easier, I think, most times. So I did that. I substituted 2x plus 1 equals 7. So I put this x plus 1 right down here. I got the 2x. Now this parentheses, you put it in parentheses, that means you have to multiply that. When you're substituting, so you multiply 2x times x. That's 1, so that's 2x times 1x equals, 2 times 1 should be 2. No, I guess you have to combine those x's. I think there's a step here I probably missed. I should have put a plus sign here and took the parentheses off, I'm guessing. Because you connect 2x and x makes you 3x. I guess you add them. There we go. I was multiplying them, sorry. 2x plus x is 3x. And then the 1, I went and isolated it from this. I took it over here, negative 7 makes me 6. That brings me down to 3x. I divided 3 into 3, 3 into 6, x equals 2. Okay, so now I've found out that x's answer is 2. So you can choose this one, or you can choose this one. Let me see here, for y, looks like I chose this guy right down here. I chose this bottom equation, y equals 2 plus 1. Oh, y equals 3. There we go, that's the reason I chose it. So my answer is this: x equals 2, y equals 3. And I use substitution. All of them you will do that. I did a couple of them. They're not really that difficult. Don't think there's, oh yeah, I was going to do 239, yeah. 239 on the next page is 10x negative 10y equals 1, and then x equals y negative 3. So I took them and put them in here, 10x negative 1, and now if you look, x equals y negative 3. So y negative 3 is going to go right here in this spot. So I put that here, and I multiply. Now there I multiplied. I'm still confused about this one right here. Oh, I see, because this is an x and this is a 2x, and there I added. But here the parentheses are around the y3, so I needed to go 10 times y and 10 times negative 3, which makes me negative 30. And now I subtract 10y and 10y. So I quickly took the 30 over here on this side and made him 31 positive. 30, you see, I changed him. And so that left me 10y, subtract 10y. So you see that comes up to 0y. Ooh, are there any red lights coming on? There should be. 0y, what's that tell you? Now, I'm going to connect you back to your grafting. When you're grafting and you come up with 0 in the x, it means what? If you come up with 0 in the y, it means what? Anybody? Text me the answer, come on. Now's when I wish you were here in the class. I would pick your brains and I could watch the little things go round and round in your eyes. This is what I hate about videoing. I don't know whether you're following me or not. I don't know if you're looking out the window and watching the birds. I have no clue what you're doing. So I don't know if you're getting this or not. But anyhow, if you haven't thought of 0 in the y bracket, maybe I should make you turn back and look for the answer. I'll be kind to you. I'm thinking that you're connecting it. 0 means no solution. So for 239, 0y equals 31. You can put that down, but you can also put down no solution. I don't know how many more are like that. There's a couple of them, maybe. I really didn't even check. I did some of them. I didn't find any more myself, but I didn't do quite all page 50 and 51. One more problem yet. I did 254. Look at that one. Anybody volunteer to come up here and do it for me? I've got it over here. You can just see a little bit. I debated about this one a long time. I looked at it in the book and I said, I'd like to do this one. So I started working this one, and I worked, 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 and I worked. I won't even tell you how many half hours I worked on it. Okay, this is 254 right here. And here I started out and I got the y's answer. And then over here, which you can't see all of that, I worked that down and got the x's answer. I will tell you that I would never have got it if it wouldn't have been for the answer key to look at and to help me. So I put it on here exactly the way the answer key has it. I think it's figured correctly. Now, I'll try to walk you through some of these steps. I'm not going to go in every detail. You can stop the video and you can look at it and figure out exactly how we went. Okay, we start out with cx negative b equals ay. And then you got ax negative c equals by. So if you stop and look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. No, here's y. So we have 5. We have 5 variables, if I can say it correctly. But treat them just like if they would be numbers. Treat them just like if they would be numbers, except for x and y. X and y you're trying to solve. So automatically I isolated the x out here in this answer here, and so I substituted x. I took x out of here, brought him over here, and he equals ay plus b with c on the bottom. Okay, you see what I did? I took the b and brought him over here, b plus, ay plus b, and then I had the x, c, and so then I divided the c into the x, and isolated the x, and I divided the c into ay plus b, and I had c. So yeah, just like numbers. So now I have the value of x. I wish it had been even instead of this fraction, but it's not. So now I put the x right here. I put the a, the value of x next, subtract c, by. So I took the bottom one, that was the simplest one, and substituted this down. Yeah, you can see here I multiplied a times this here, so that got me a times a, making a squared y plus ab. I had to go a times b, so ab, and negative c squared. So I had the c here and then c here. And then I brought the y over, no, the c. I took the c, subtracted him, and also brought him over to the far side. I took this c here, right here, and I brought him and put him over here with these guys. And I wouldn't have known how to do that if the book wouldn't have showed me on that. So I got bcy equals this here. Now, I flipped this problem. I took the c squared and brought him over here, and I took the ab and brought him over here, and I put the negative sign here. Okay, so that moves the bcy back here. That I just brought this here straight down here. Are you still with me? Or are you lost? If you're lost, well then back the video up. I separated this here. So these guys here came over here. This guy here came over here. And anytime you cross the equal sign, you make it negative. The reason was to isolate the y. So now I've got I put this in parentheses a2. I took the y out. bc, took the y out there. I subtracted this y from this y, so that left me with one y instead of two y's to start with. I put two y's because I had a y here and a y here. No, you take them out. And so now I have this a squared negative bc. So I have to divide that into the 2c ab. And so it come up with a fraction. Y equals 2c ab, and a squared negative b squared. I follow that. If you take your time, you can follow that. You can get down to that part. Yeah. The next part, your answer comes as a fraction. C squared plus AB. Y equals, okay, this is the value of y. This is the value of this guy right here, or this guy up here, is this fraction. Now, this is where I'm lost. On this part here, I started out, and I can follow this, but I copied most of this here right out of the book. Okay, and I think I copied it right. So for x, now I want to solve x. So my original problem, I put x, I took x out of the bottom number over here. You can't see it, it's the bottom one. Maybe I can get it in there. No, you can't. I took it for the bottom one here, for the ax negative c equals by. So I took the bottom one and I substituted my y into that there. Okay, so this here's my y right here, plus b, and a here. So I took my c, I had negative c, I brought it over here and put the c underneath this answer here, okay? So this is a fraction again, because I divided the c in here to isolate the x. Then I took my a and I multiplied it times this, a times this, a times b. Okay, so that's what I've got here. I multiplied the a times all these top guys, and then I moved a squared negative bc. I moved those down here because I plus the b here, and I got rid of my fraction in this top line. I had the a here and I had the b here, so I put the a up in the top and I put the b in the bottom. And I also had to put this guy here that was down here, I put him with the c. So you can follow that line there. That's here's the bottom one. He come down here with the c. These two guys here got merged into that one there to produce that. Does that make sense? You can't see me. All right. Back up here again. If I can rerun this again, you will move this here down here because it's below, so you'll put him in this here. And you'll incorporate A into here, B into here. Uh-oh. Somebody's trying to get a hold of me. Shut it off. Now, you have this fraction here. This next step is what is confusing. They took the CAB and they put it in two parts. Okay? You move the bottom one here, the bottom one here. Change nothing. Now they divided this guy here and put it, the b squared c, they put it here, and the a squared they put it here. They put the ab squared, the ab squared, they combined it to a double. Okay, I don't understand how they did that. I'm lost, okay? I'm just following them. And then they condensed it down again, and they took the c out. And they got a squared minus b squared. A squared equals, subtract b squared. No, ac negative b squared equals x. So this is your x answer. I don't have any advice for you more than it takes lots of concentration. Yeah, you have fun today. Tomorrow I hope to finish this and do self-test 2 for Friday.